tell me, have you ever really ever loved a woman?
When you love a woman, tell her that she's really wanted. When you love a woman,
You tell her that she's the one.
Take a seat, crack a cold, let the tales unfold. In the world of banter, where laughter's never old. Wasted wagons rolling on through the night. With each sip, the story takes flight.
welcome back, Wagoneers, to another exciting episode of the Wasted Wagons podcast. I would like to take a moment here to just congratulate Michael. I mean, it's been a little while since we've had him on the pod. He is back.
Thank you. I'm back.
He is back with a vengeance.
I'm here, and I'm...
This picture was removed from the milk carton.
And other than Mike, we also have Todd, Russ, Pat, and myself. I'm Travis. And guess what today was? Today was week 1 of the NFL regular season Sunday. And, of course, we always look forward to the Saints, and I think that would be a good place for us to start. Unfortunately, our Saints did not get the W this week, but I'd like to go around the table and see what you guys thought about our week 1 loss to the Arizona Cardinals.
It was pitiful. It was pathetic. They sucked.
Mike, you haven't been here in a while, so why don't you start off with what your analysis of the day was?
Pitiful is a good word, I think. I think that me and Russell were kind of talking about this earlier when we were just getting here. They didn't have, like, the spark. They didn't have the drive. I think they were running around just, just playing without the energy that, is needed to win. I was impressed, though, with Cam Jordan. I think, for being as old as he is, I think he did very, very well today. Kendre Miller was, I think...
Kendrick.
I think he did phenomenal. I really liked the way he played. He played with that spark that was missing from the team. And then just a lot of failures on everybody, including the coach. I think the timeout at the end of the second half, the end of the second half.
The lack of timeout.
He didn't take a timeout when he should have. They still had like 2.5 minutes on the clock or something like that. I think that would have been another opportunity for us to get the ball earlier and possibly, at least get a field goal. The groupie kick, I don't fault him. It hurts, but I don't fault him too much. I don't know if y'all heard.
No.
They had
It was a 38-yarder in a dome.
yeah, but they were booing because of another play right before it. I think he got a little frazzled. Should he have made it? Absolutely, but I don't think anything less of him is what I'm trying to say.
I won't let that one
No.
kick.
Nobody's saying we're going to cut groupie after this, but you're paid to make kicks. That's a 38-yarder inside of the dome. You should have made it.
It was disappointing overall.
Cam Little's kicking 60-something yarders in the preseason. I mean, we're in a day and age he needs to make that.
When you look at groupie, I mean, he does look a little fragile, and he looks like that kind of stuff would get to him.
But he only missed, 2 field goals last year. So, I mean, he did really well. So, I mean, I would have thought he would have been riding that high and coming into a home game at the Dome, not missing that one.
The thing with kickers is we just have to hope it just doesn't become a head case thing and end up spiraling them downhill, because that was Garrett Hartley's fault when he was here. He was a guy who was really good for us for a couple of years, was a Super Bowl kicker, and then all of a sudden, shortly after that, he just started to become a head case.
Oh, Wyatt Sexton, he's a head case now.
I think Shaheed, he was covered very well. I think that's why he didn't produce too much today.
So while you're on the topic of Shaheed, I actually thought, and again, y'all could correct me if y'all think anything, if I say anything y'all feel like is wrong, but I felt like Shaheed looked like he was running lazy routes. I felt like that the one that was thrown to him in the end zone, he could have made a better effort for. I don't want to compare him and Olave because I think Olave is just an overall better receiver, but I have a feeling if that ball would have went to Olave, same situation, he might have come down with it. I just think that he looked like he was running some lazy routes today.
I think Olave would have come down for sure with something.
A concussion?
A
concussion?
Like an injury.
50-50.
I'm sorry, Travis, but I mean he's starting to get the rap of being a puss.
Yeah, he's got the injury problem, but Olave also made some good catches, and there was one that he clearly caught that went under review and was clearly taken away from him. But
That was nuts.
it looked like a catch. He had control of it. It wasn't like it was moving around when he hit the ground.
They even brought in Mike Pereira, and he said it was a catch, and there was no way it was getting overturned. And all of a sudden, it gets overturned. Look, Olave has had the concussion history. There's no doubt about that. The one that he had to get evaluated for today was definitely not his fault. Rattler should have not have thrown that ball. So, Rattler had some situations where he hung out our receivers.
That's true.
And we'll get back to Juwan Johnson in a second. But even one of the Juwan Johnson's catches, like he made it, came down with it, but he got the shithead out of him because that ball shouldn't have been thrown.
I agree. I agree that a lot of it was Rattler just not throwing the balls in spots where it would be safe for the receivers to catch, but. At the same time, I don't know, man. Just looking at Olave, I think he could do so much more, and I don't know.
It was funny because Mike and I were joking about that before y'all got here, but they think they need to send him out like the kid in Little Giants and like the bubble wrap.
Yeah,
he really does.
I want to pump you up.
I don't know how much. Todd and I were talking about that during the game. Like we don't really know like how much those Guardian caps really help, but he really should consider wearing one.
Agree. But the one player that stood out for bad things was Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Oh yeah.
I think, man,
he's not God.
No, not even close. I think they should have sat him. Really, that he could not, do anything out there to protect. So.
I also wonder, like, was it like a part of Staley's scheme where he was covering Harrison Jr. most of the game instead of Alontae Taylor? Because I feel like Alontae Taylor is kind of established as our number one corner right now, and maybe it was because he was coming off of an injury. But I think size-wise, I feel like he sizes up against Marvin Harrison Jr. a lot better than Kool-Aid, and he's got more experience than Kool-Aid. So I was wondering why he wasn't doing more coverage on Marvin Harrison Jr.
Well, Alontae Taylor did get burnt a lot last year. I think he's more so designed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like he's better as a nickel. I mean, he kind of shined 2 years ago when he wasn't being the number one guy.
I don't know the answer to that question. I know they did play a lot of Isaac Yiadom today. I didn't really see him do a whole lot of good.
He never does.
So one of my big takeaways from the game is get back to Juwan Johnson. I feel like we bring his name up a lot on this podcast, and it's never really for good things. And he came out today, looking pretty good. He looked like he was Spencer Rattler's kind of go-to guy for a little bit. He was making some nice catches over the middle. And then all of a sudden, just when like you're kind of like building his, you're building up your like for him, he drops the would-be game touchdown where, I mean, he got hit, but at the same time, I think you still have to come down with that. He didn't lose it till he hit the ground. So,
I think that play was more of like, yes, he lost it coming to the ground, but I think the defensive back or the corner or whatever kind of got his hand in enough to like kind of force it a little bit loose, and then when he hit the ground, and then it came out. So, I mean, you should make that catch, but I understand that there were some factors that played into that miscatch. I mean, CeeDee Lamb on Thursday had a couple balls that was probably in his grasp, and maybe the defender kind of jarred it a little bit or kind of got in his way to where he couldn't complete the catch. So, and that's an all-pro receiver. So, I understand he should have caught it, but I understand like how it could have come incomplete.
CeeDee Lamb, bro.
I took a few notes, nothing super detailed on the game, but just some things I was jotting down, some serious, not so serious. But my biggest takeaways were, one, Trey McBride killed us,
yep.
Which he's a stud. He's going to get his yards and receptions and whatnot.
part of let me cut you off, but the part of this is like he didn't have a lot of pass rush coming his way. I agree with Mike. Cam Jordan came up big in a couple of plays, but I do think our best pass rusher is probably Chase Young, and he wasn't playing. And on third down, I think Kyler Murray had a lot of time to think about where he's on the ball, and that middle was open every time with Trey McBride. So it was getting a little frustrating.
Yeah, I mean he's a top talent at tight end, so I understand he's going to get his numbers because he's a really good player. But it felt like we didn't maybe have the coverage correct on him to try to neutralize him a bit, or maybe the pass rush just didn't get there enough to where he got open and to make a play here and there. The bigger glaring issue to me was, and I wrote down, tackling. A lot of plays they got positive yards because we couldn't tackle, and the running back who would have been stopped for a yard or maybe even behind the line of scrimmage got 2, 3, 4 yards, or a receiver caught a ball, turned, and got an additional maybe 5, 6, 7 yards because the tackling was not good enough.
And you know who noticeably missed a lot of tackles was Demario Davis, who's normally a very solid tackler. He's normally a guy we can rely on consistently. He missed quite a few today.
Yeah, and the last real serious key point I saw was we could not get them off the field on third down consistently. They kept extending drives because we could not stop them on third down, where there was a run or a pass, whatever. And kind of like I said in the season preview episode last week, Kyler Murray using his legs to run and extend plays was going to be a problem, and it kind of showed up a fair amount. It wasn't the end all be all of the game, but that contributed a lot to us not getting off the field on third down and getting stops.
I'm not making excuses, but last year they were ranked number 2 in converting third downs. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
and again,
it's a good third down.
Yeah, like I said, I mean he's got the ability to. He's not a elite top 1-2 running quarterback, but he can do it very well, and he showed it today where he just got out of situations, extended some plays to make a throw, or just ran for a few. But then Connor and the other back, I can't remember his name for Arizona, getting a lot of positive yards on missed tackles, and some receivers getting
Benson.
Yeah, Benson, and a couple of receivers they had getting open or getting away from the defender on missed tackles was pretty alarming for a team. But some of it is week 1, and it's just everybody's new. You don't practice nearly as much as you used to in the past, so tackling is not as big of an emphasis during training camp, whatever like that. So, yeah.
I think if we would have had one more Saints weapon, I think it would have made the difference on today's game, and the weapon would be Taysom Hill.
Yeah, well,
For sure he would help. I felt like the offensive line was okay. I'd give him maybe a C.
I'd give Caesar Ruiz an F.
Well, yeah, as a collective, I'd give them a C overall. Nothing was over, like the pass rush wasn't crushing us. They were getting decent pressure and causing Rattler to kind of have to move around, but that's normal. You kind of expect that. But I think they held up decently well. It wasn't doom and gloom like some of us thought maybe leading into week 1.
no, I think we legitimately should have won that, or should have forced overtime. But one thing I will say about Spencer Rattler, I liked how he progressed throughout the game. Like the first 2 series or so, he looked like a scared little boy. Looked like he was very nervous, missed a lot of throws. And I think as the game went on and the pressure got more and more, he kind of rose to the occasion and led us on a few good drives. So I was impressed with that. I'd like to see that carry into week 2 because I still feel like he's kind of on that short leash. So if he doesn't improve, I think they're going to turn the shuck sooner rather than later.
Well, the last 5 minutes of the game, he was a completely different quarterback.
Yeah, and you wish that would have happened a little earlier, but
You could definitely see the confidence kind of grow in him and him get more comfortable. I think I wrote down the only glaring thing that I made note about him was that Spencer Rattler hates his receivers because the ball he threw to Olave that could have got him fucking concussed. And then I also wrote secondary to that, Olave concussion ? When he went off the field and they put up the blue tent, and I was like, well, this looks very familiar. So, but other than that, I don't think Rattler was terrible.
I wouldn't say it was terrible.
One thing that I do notice from Rattler, he throws with some heat, man. He puts some heat behind those balls when he throws them.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's causing people to
I mean, he's got a decent to above average arm, so that wasn't out of the norm. But I think for me, it was just he didn't look super rushed or like he played like he was just completely lost outside of like the first couple of drives. He seemed fairly composed. He looked like he had a decent amount of time to make decisions and go with the ball. And he made a lot of smart veteran plays to just take what they gave you, not press it. The interception, I understand where he's trying to go with the ball, and he probably saw a decent advantage when he let that ball go to the receiver that got intercepted, but it wasn't ideal. Yeah, it wasn't ideal, but it wasn't like he was throwing like triple coverage. He had a good matchup. He probably thought he saw
he overthrew
the opening. He overthrew it a little bit, and the DB also made a pretty decent play on the ball. So, I think the last glaring issue I saw was penalties.
Oh, yeah,
we had a lot
bad.
of
way more than the other team.
even like not even just the stupid penalties that shouldn't happen, but just penalties in general were a problem, and they kind of halted what little progression and momentum we were trying to start to build, and they just kept setting us back. That felt like old Saints of like just boneheaded mistakes that shouldn't be happening, but they're going to happen. I get it, but it just felt like they happened at the really, really inopportune times for us.
Yeah, and like the fact that we were able to keep it so close when the penalties were so lopsided, that says a lot about us too. I do feel like in the upcoming weeks we need to see more step up from Brandon Cooks and Rashid Shaheed, because they were the two guys who were noticeably missing from the passing game. It was like almost like every time somebody called the ball, it was either Jawan Johnson or Chris Olave. It's like those two guys really need to start kind of upping their game a little bit.
It might be Mason Tipton time. So I was.
He was invisible. Did he even touch the field? I mean, like
I don't know. He might not even been dressed.
I don't know. Cooks definitely did not see him do anything at all.
He had 2 catches the whole game.
Yeah, meaningless basically. Kendre Miller, I don't know how much more of him I would have wanted to see or needed to see. He was okay, not bad. I thought they would have maybe tried to use him a bit more to help out.
One thing, and I don't know if this was a Spencer Rattler under pressure thing or if it was a coaching thing, but after Kamara scored his touchdown, he just kind of disappeared. Like it was just like, all right, they almost like took him out of the game plan. And like to have a back like that who's so valuable with his hands, I was wondering why we weren't doing more dump offs to him, especially when we needed it. But anyway, there's hopefully just things you can correct heading into next week.
I was just curious because it did feel like we had a penalty like every time you blinked your eyes. So we committed 13 penalties today.
Yeah, that is inexcusable.
That needs to be cleaned up.
Inexcusable. Like 4 or 5 here and there, sure, but 13 is extremely egregious.
And it makes you wonder, because if you had 13 penalties, if you cut that in half, could that have been the difference in the game? You know, could that have been something where maybe we do force overtime? You know,
possibly.
Shoot, if Groupie makes the kick and Juwan Johnson holds on to the touchdown, we win.
The game.
You know?
Yeah, like I said, it was.
Well, I was telling Todd this. If Groupie would have made the kick, I think when we were right by the end zone and it was that fourth down play, instead of kicking it, I think we would have probably went for it to get to 7 points and tying the game at that point. So that kick, even though it was meaningless at the time, maybe it really meant a lot to losing the game.
Mm-hmm. That's why kickers are paid to make kicks.
Russell?
I mean, y'all said mostly what I would have said. I mean, the biggest standout is just the disappointments. They stand out way more than any kind of hope that I had, because the game was a little bit up and down for me. There was some good drives early on, or like 1 or 2 maybe, and then but by the end of it, like y'all were saying, like Rattler, I think definitely stepped it up. Mm-hmm. That last drive I thought was really fun. I was into it, and it was just met with such disappointment with the last 3 plays of the game.
Here's the real question: do you think Shuck would have done any better?
That's hard to say.
I think it would have been pretty equivalent. I think he would have probably been nervous as hell first game, and Rattler still looked nervous, even though this wasn't his first start. And I think as he would have gotten more comfortable, it probably would have been pretty similar. We probably still would have lost the game. So I don't think Shuck would have given us that much more of an advantage this week.
If anything, I think I had a little bit more confidence instilled in me with Rattler because of this game. Like I thought he was going to be worse today than he really was.
I think Rattler probably raised my floor level of him up.
That's fair.
The ceiling is about the same. I kind of still have a pretty good idea of what I think he's going to be and what kind of productivity and plays we're going to get out of him. I think he may have raised the floor. He did again. He wasn't an all pro today, but he looked competent. He looked fairly decisive once he got into a rhythm, and he knew what to do with the ball when he should have. I think with Shuck, maybe the defense would have tried to blitz a bit more to rattle a rookie and see what he looked like, even though Rattler doesn't have that much more playing time as a starter than Shuck would have as coming into his first game. But I think plus I think Rattler might be a bit better of a runner in their eyes than Shuck. So I think they probably tried to pressure him more and maybe try to force him into a bad decision more than they were like, let's just see what this kid Rattler can really do. We know he's played before, so let's just kind of feel him out more versus sending a ton of heat and pressure into him to just really try to just run over him than anything.
How many games do you give it before they switch him out? If we keep losing, obviously.
I still think we're going to be around week 5, 6, like for the 2 home games against the Giants in New England, where that question is probably getting maybe either going to happen or it's like he's getting the loudest noise for it. But again, like if Rattler came out and threw 2 interceptions, had a fumble or something, like had a bunch of turnovers, I think week 4, 5, or 6 would be probably a hard date to make that switch or to consider doing it. But again, it's not like he didn't play to the level where he lost us the game. He gave us opportunities to win that game had catches been made, etc. So it's only week 1, but I think you've seen enough from week 1 to say, okay, we can work with this, we can build with this, we can keep working on Shuck in the weeks leading up to a game, in the days leading up to a game, and we don't have to be quick to pull that trigger. It's still on the table, but I think if we get this level of play as a floor from Rattler, I think he's going to probably make it through a decent part of the schedule unless things start to go off the rails. Like look at the schedule, you have to throw out the Buffalo game because we know what's going to happen in that game. If he looks like he did and plays a bit better against San Francisco, and we're in the same spot where it's a 1-score game with an opportunity to tie and or win, he's going to be okay. When he gets to, we have Seattle as well. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a real good measuring test because he's going to be on the road against a really hostile environment and a really good defense, and playing against a quarterback who, though, has shown more promise than him in Darnold. He's done it at a decently high level last season. You should be able to compete against Sam Darnold from a talent standpoint. If you can't compete with him and or play better than him with what's around you, then we have a real conundrum. But after that, if he plays bad around the Giants game, it may be time.
I totally agree with what you said.
So we did our last episode, we did our season projections, and this was one of the ones I had us winning, so it's kind of a bummer to see, that I'm already below my expectations. I had us winning 7, and I actually predicted that probably somewhere around week 7 or 8 we would make the switch. So anyway.
You think it's going to come sooner?
I agree with what Patrick said. I think it all depends on Rattler's play from here on out. If he keeps us in close games, then no. But if we start getting blown out on a pretty consistent basis over the next couple of weeks, I would say, it's going to get pulled sooner rather than later.
I think the also concern is, okay, you bench Rattler. How much do you expect Shuck is going to be an improvement? Like if he were lighting it up in preseason and it looked like really good, like let's say even a Justin Herbert, like mid-tier, like not top 10, but right on the cusp, at top 10, top 15 level, then I'd say, yeah, making that switch seems much more logical because you have a decided talent advantage with going to Shuck. I don't think they are separated by enough yet to make that decision viable by week 3, maybe 4, unless San Francisco comes in and beats us down, and he goes to Seattle and looks completely fucking lost by the time we get to coming back home for the Giants and then Patriots week after.
I feel like if we hit those home games and he shits the bed there, then he's just done after that.
And the thing we got to remember with Chuck though is we kind of drafted him to be the quarterback of the future. So eventually you have to pull that. I mean, he was a high second round pick, basically borderline first. So I think it's one of those things where you pretty much eventually have to pull that trigger and move forward, and even if he sucks, just roll with it and see how he does.
I truly believe, though, if you pull Rattler right, like whenever, I think that's it. That's the last you'll see Rattler.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Unless Chuck gets hurt.
Going back and forth,
But yeah, I mean, just off of what I saw today from Rattler week 1, I'm like, I feel okay about him holding off Shuck for a bit until we see how he looks against a much better defense in San Francisco and a much better defense and crazier environment in Seattle. Now, let's say he gets through those 3 games and he's playing okay. The Giants come here and that front 4 destroys our O-line and he makes him throw some really, really bad balls. I think by the time we get to the Patriots or after the Patriots, it might be time to really look at it. But from just week 1, the floor seems a bit higher, and he seems okay. Mm-hmm. So I think this keeps up, he might get a bit longer leash, but I think the Seattle game will tell us everything we need to know about if he's ready to lead the team as a starting quarterback, and if we need to really start considering putting Shuck in because he gives us an advantage that Rattler just can't get to, or a level Rattler just can't get to.
All right, fellas. Well, outside of our crushing Saints defeat, how did everybody do week 1 in fantasy?
Stellar.
Loving my team.
Yeah, we the first player we had was A.J. Brown that first Thursday night game, and he disappointed really bad, so we were kind of all scared a little bit, how the team was going to do overall. But then today kind of solidified that we're champions.
Bold statement, but I 100%
After week 1, huh?
Are you putting that on wax?
Do we got to put that?
Wait. A shot of Malort?
challenge.
I'm just joking, but seriously.
I mean, say it with your chest. You said it. Say it with your chest now.
Hold on, is this a 3-way Malort challenge now?
Yeah. You guys want to join in the fun of Malort for the winners or losers?
Shit, I'm probably doing the Malort regardless, so sure, why not?
Well, you don't have to is the thing. But if you're feeling froggy and Mike's talking the way Mike's talking, we can get you guys included in on this.
What's the ongoing bet right now?
It was really just if Todd and I win, then Pat and Sean have to take a shot, and if they win, Todd and I have to take a shot.
And there's a specific week that if the Saints lose or win, that Pat also has to take a shot, if I remember correctly.
Was it?
Yeah, I thought that was something that came up.
So what happens if neither of y'all win?
Then nobody takes
Nobody
shots.
takes a shot.
But now we got a 3-man mix in here, so now it's.
Yeah. We'll
definitely get in on it.
I mean, the odds are still decently in your favor.
So Mike just already confirmed this for you, Russ. What do you feel?
We're going to do the Malorts.
Okay.
No.
The Malort challenge.
I did the Malort when I didn't even need to. So
If Mike, Sean, and Brett don't win, they have to do a shot. It's not if they lose, or if you guys don't win championship, it's shots for you guys.
That's fine.
It's funny because Sean sent a screenshot of the closed captioning of the last podcast where we were talking about him licking the shot glass, and it's like, what you were doing it?
Sean really loves that shot of Malort. Like deep down inside, he can say what he wants about how it makes him feel afterward and how after effect, but I think he likes it.
Win or lose, Sean's taking that shot.
Yeah, we talked about in the episode, in the Brian Adams Dream episode, where he basically said about the pulling of Todd's lawnmower strings that if Sean can do it in under 20, he'll take the shot. If he can't, he'll take the shot. So he likes him some Malort. I don't know.
Sean's definitely the guy that win, lose, or draw, he wants to do a shot of something and celebrate in some form or fashion. So he makes that bet as though it's a punishment for him, but deep down, I think he really, really doesn't mind doing it at all.
Okay. Well, would you like to talk about your fantasy?
No. I want to hear about how the reigning champs are doing so far in their opening title defense.
It's not God.
Not too fucking good. All right.
So who hurt you?
Well, the Miami Dolphins hurt us.
Well,
for
well,
sure.
kind of what Mike said about AJ Brown getting off to getting them off to a slow start. I mean, Dak Prescott got us off to a slow start, and we didn't really recover from Thursday night at all.
Yes, and you know, I know Todd is going to be a big Dak supporter, and I'll agree to a certain extent because he did have.
But hold on a second. If I'm not mistaken, was Travis not the one that said, "Oh, I think Dak, we need to take Dak. He's got George Pickens. He's got CeeDee Lamb. He's going to be a sleeper."
I still think he will be, but this week was not the week. He had 2 balls thrown at the 2-yard line where the receiver fell down or went out of bounds, so kind of screwed us out of 2 touchdowns. But I am more worried about the Miami Dolphins than I am Dak Prescott right now because.
How many Miami Dolphins players do you have on your roster?
3.
But Darren Waller might not be on it for much longer.
Yeah. We only started 2, and it was 2 obvious guys you're supposed to start between Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane. And Achane did score a touchdown, so I'm not all out on him. I was a little alarmed at how you can fall so far behind and fail to get Tyreek Hill involved in the game as on deep balls or whatnot. Because I mean, the game was 24-0 before you knew it, and then it was almost like they had no rebuttal to it, and couldn't do crap. And then I even told Todd, I was like, because he said, well, because they're losing, they're just going to throw the ball, so that's going to be good for us. And I was like, in a sense, but if they can't stop them on defense, they're eventually going to pull all the starters, and that's what they did. So by the 4th quarter, you're starting to put Zach Wilson in there with no Tua and no Tyreek Hill, and it wasn't good from there.
Was not God. Now let me ask you this. I mean, Daniel Jones absolutely fucking tore them apart. So, I mean, was Daniel Jones that bad in New York, or was New York just that bad for Daniel Jones?
I would lean towards New York was bad, and he may not be an all-pro. He might be serviceable, like middle of the pack, so he's not terrible. But I don't think anyone would really succeed in the Giants in that iteration of them before he left.
Well, you saw Russell Wilson didn't do crap today, so. Right? But I also think you factor into it how bad is the Dolphins' defense. I mean, the Dolphins got rid of Jalen Ramsey, and were quick to get rid of him, and now their secondary.
Fitzpatrick too, huh?
No, they ended up getting Minkah Fitzpatrick.
So they got him from Steelers.
He was traded basically straight up for Jalen Ramsey, but they lost a few other key pieces, and it really showed. Daniel Jones might not have had a whole lot of pass rush in his face this game because they were just converting first down at the first down, running clock. It just wasn't good, and
not good.
Does anybody feel like they had a big misstep sitting somebody that they shouldn't have?
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, now look at the points Justin Fields scored on my bench. I'd say that, but again, that's. I don't know if that would have been like, Dak was supposed to get drafted before him, and he was going to be our starter no matter what heading in. So I'm not kicking myself too much on that, but I am in this situation now where I'm wondering if we start rotating him, and we always end up starting the wrong one.
I mean, it was 35 points on our bench.
Listen, damn frogs. So I also have Dak in one league, and that was not great for me as well. And so I'm probably going to lose that game just because, I mean, I had some other players obviously that did not perform, but 7 points out of my starting quarterback, not good. When he was throwing the ball around pretty well.
He played well. We had a ton of drops, guys falling down at the 2-yard line.
I mean, I was reassured more than anything because when you have a guy come off of a serious injury, you wonder if his career's over, if his age is catching up with him. He looked fine. I'm not worried about that. He's not going to have every week where he's going to have games like this. I'm more worried about the Dolphins at this point because they got annihilated by a team that I wouldn't consider a good team. So I don't.
So you say that, but you have to look at their roster. They're not that bad. Like exclude the quarterback, right? They have a top running back.
Yeah, they got Jonathan Taylor.
They've got 2 pretty solid receivers. Their rookie tight end should be very good.
No, Ty Warren had about 80 yards receiving today.
Yeah, he won me some money in gambling, so appreciate that, Ty. The defense is not bad. They've always just struggled with the quarterback, but they have the ancillary pieces to be a pretty good team. It's just their quarterback play has been awful the last 3-4 years.
And I'm guessing their defense is pretty solid. On paper, I wouldn't have guessed it at the beginning of the year, but especially we ended up getting one of their starting safeties, Blackman. So I didn't know if how many other pieces they might have lost or whatnot, and then they weren't really that great last year. So I thought Tua would have been able to expose them a little bit, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, not to dive like deep into rosters, but on paper they don't have a sexy name of like an all pro that like say a Micah Parsons that stands out to you, but their collective unit is very good overall, and I think they finished in the top 15 defensively last season, so they were going to be okay. But I think it's a kind of also an indictment on Miami and just not being able to get their offense in any kind of rhythm to make plays and score points. Going back to my team, I think the only real disappointment, and it's not so much so because he wasn't my starting running back.
Y'all have the highest point total right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, in my other league, I had Javonte Williams on my bench.
Yep.
That was only 54 yards ish, but 2 touchdowns hurt. But he wasn't supposed to be my starting running back, so I guess I can't be that mad about it. I left him on the bench because I wouldn't have started him over Taylor or A-Chain anyway.
Yep.
So, and I have Tyrone Tracy, which I don't think he had a great game, but I thought the matchup would have been better. But outside of Dak not performing well, my players looked overall okay.
So speaking of your team, how are we feeling about CMC over there? I know he put up some points. He put up more than 1 point for you, unlike last season.
I did not look at all at what he did today.
He put up 18 points for you.
You know what? More importantly, did he walk off the field at the end of the game under his own power?
I don't know, and that's why I'm asking.
I think he did.
Okay, if he made it out of week 1 alive and not on a cart or in the tent or in crutches, I'm okay. He could give me 10 to 12 every week on the bottom end. I'll live as long as he is on the field and playing.
I am secretly rooting that he does not get hurt because I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But it brings me some displeasure to see him perform at all after his non-existence last season.
So I'm being a little petty here.
Go ahead.
But all your players have played, and you are currently the highest amount of points in the league. But we still have 2 players to play, a running back and a tight end. So just petty. So.
Well, one other thing I'll say before we move on from fantasy talk, one other thing I want to say is the idea of like overthinking where you play people. Because I texted Todd this morning, and I was looking at our defensive matchup, and I was like, okay, we got Texans defense, who's supposed to be one of the best Ds in the league, but they are playing, which one of the offenses, which I would have considered one of the more scary offenses in the league, in the Rams, being that they have Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. So then I'm texting Todd early this morning. I'm like, should we really go with them, or should Waller is out already, so we can move him to the IR and pick up another defense. And then I'm sending the screenshot of the ones available, and we both decide that it was either going to be between the Jets or the Patriots that we're going to pick up. Patriots played the Raiders. I think they still lost, but they certainly didn't allow as many points as Jets did. But then we looked at it from the standpoint of the Jets are a well-rounded defense, usually pretty good. They may not have had the better matchup today, but I think they're better for the long haul. So we picked them up and decided to start them in place of the Texans, and that proved to be a bad move. So it's another thing that you just kind of get inside your head and start overthinking things. And like, is my lineup the way we want it, or should we do this? Probably should have just went with the way it was set, but made a change, bad move, and
there was lots of discussion on there's 3 of us on our team, so we're talking constantly. And I got to give my buddy Brett a shout out. He is now he's in the process of earning one of 2 nicknames, the Terrible Tinkerer or the Terrific Tinkerer. And he said it himself. He's like, I'm constantly overthinking and trying to change things right before the games start. And this time it worked out for us. I don't think we actually changed out anything. But, I just wanted to give him a little shout out real quick.
It's the age-old adage of... Yeah, adage, thank you. Sorry, Jack Daniels is kind of affecting me right now.
Cheers.
Paralysis by analysis. You overthink, even with everything in life. You overthink some things. You go against your gut, this and that. So you get back to fantasy football, and like, what's the number one thing? Luck. Your players got to be healthy. And 2, you got to work through the matchups and think what you think is the best, and then kind of stick with it. If you don't and you keep tinkering, you're gonna, maybe not start your number one running back a week that he goes off for a shitload of touchdowns and points, and you end up losing a game. It's possible. It happens.
It's just like taking the ACT. I mean, you got to go with your first choice.
Well, that's also some of the smarts.
You can't overthink that.
Right, but you have to be some level of smart in general for the ACT. This is just, I know what I should do. Am I going to do it? Am I going to overthink it?
And, well, Todd and Travis said their three-peat was loading, and the Maury Povich lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Now. It's just week one. It's one game. You have plenty of time to continually fuck this up. So to pull a little bit of petty from Mike, I'm secretly rooting for you guys to go in like 0-17.
I'm sure everybody is, but that's okay.
We just can't have three-peats.
Can't win them. You can't win them all.
No, I agree. But no one like the Patriots.
Save
No one
some
likes
for the rest of you guys.
No one likes a dynasty. So I'm happy that you got one. Getting a second, okay, cool. I can't have you win a third.
A last place finish would be pretty epic because we would be like the mighty have fallen.
I don't need them even to finish last. Although that'd be the most hilarious outcome. Second most would be them just missing the playoffs. So I'll take them not winning however I get it. If they lose in championship, cool. They lost. It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to probably be in last place after this since we just finished with 78 points.
I just checked the scores. We're definitely going to be in last.
So, anyway, and I hate the first pick too because I always feel like I'm kind of like pigeonholed to take a certain guy, which is I don't know. Like this year, if I had the first one, I probably would have convinced myself to take Chase just because. And he had a pretty shitty game today. So,
well, y'all just better hope we don't win because I'm gonna freaking violate that bowl.
It's been a long time coming, huh? Got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff saved up, huh?
They're gonna have to burn it.
Just like that Ulta, right?
Yes.
If you'll allow me to have a quick sidebar conversation, but it does tie into two of the things that just got brought up. One about staving off and stopping a three-peat, and two, violation of a bowl and / trophy or whatever. Guys, I'm a kickball champion.
About time.
Whoa.
Yes,
That was
one.
Pretty amazing looking trophy.
Been a long time coming.
One, it is about time. This is my 13th or 14th year playing in this Sunday league. When I joined, my team was okay. They were average to slightly below average. We added some talent.
From Baton Rouge.
Still added talent, like other teams have done. Have added people from Baton Rouge and won championships.
So you're like poaching?
No, we didn't poach. We have actually only taken maybe one or two players, maybe two players from another team before. But they wanted to leave. They were on a team that was mid-level and wanted to do better. So we took two players from them, and it made us better. Obviously,
Did you pay them?
no, we don't. We don't do that. Only one captain in our league. Russell can speak to this. There's really only one captain in our league that is quote unquote paid for players and whatnot.
I may or may not have been on that team.
You were. But yeah, just one.
Is that the 69ers?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, the infamous,
Wine 'em, dine 'em,
notorious
69 'em.
69ers. Well, yeah, we stopped a three-peat from happening. The Fuzz team, they're called the Fuzz. They won back-to-back, and that was very bittersweet for a lot of reasons. But
Were there a bunch of policemen?
no.
I was thinking the same thing.
But we, I saw like going into like Sunday of championship, like semifinals of championship.
Was it a bunch of lesbians?
Peach Fuzz?
I'm trying to work the name out in my head, you know?
It's just an old school name.
They
Like
drive Subarus.
anyway, I'm trying to get in and out of this segment pretty quick because I don't really want to discuss it. I just want to gloat for a half a second, please and thank you.
Do you have the trophy?
No, the trophy is currently getting engraved with our name on it. But to the violation standpoint, one of our captains who joined the league a season or two before I did, and who actually got me on this team, he was in charge of taking the trophy home or being in charge of it to then go and get it and bring it to the commission to get engraved. He was very generous about drinking beer out of the trophy, doing shots out of the trophy. I'm pretty sure at one point he put it in the passenger seat of his truck and like put the seatbelt on it so he'd be secure for a 3-minute drive from the field to the bar. I saw a photo of him
In bed with it?
Yeah, the trophy in bed with him, and I'm like, hey, bro, that's going a little far.
That's crossing the line.
Yeah, because at some point I need this thing in my hands, and I don't want your filth remnants.
It's been tainted.
Yo, well, it's been tainted before.
Specifically because of who we're talking about.
It was tainted long before he got to it, but he didn't. He added to it, I'm sure.
Did you put that puppy under a black light?
You wouldn't want to do
It's not in my possession yet, but when I get my hands on it, yes, I for sure will. I only had it to take some photos and whatnot.
You might want to wear some gloves when you handle it.
Oh, I will. It'll be like Stanley Cup holding type gloves for sure.
So do you get a little time with it? Like, do you get to keep it by your house for a couple of days?
We will all have a chance to have it for a couple of weeks here and there and just kind of take photos, do whatever. I have some plans for it. Don't worry.
Ultimately, it ends up at y'all's sponsored bar, correct?
Yes and no. We get to hold it, so we'll probably keep it at the bar. But then when the season starts next year, we'll have to bring it to playoffs to hand over to the next champion. I just wanted to make mention that I finally got this fucking monkey off my back and got me a championship. And retirement is
looming.
Is looming. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Well,
thank you.
Well, when you do get your time with it, you can bring it here. We can put it on the table, and I'll set it next to our fantasy football trophy.
You know what? I'm even going to drink at least one lime cucumber goze out of that fucking trophy.
Wow.
So yeah, like Todd said, you can put it on that table. We'll put the Ultimate League Cup, the Lord Helwig's Cup up next to it, and we can take a drink out of that. You take a drink out of yours.
With pleasure. I might do a...
Sounds like a plan.
I was going to say I'll do a shot of a Lord out of it, but I'm not going to fucking back myself into that corner. I'll stop at the lime cucumber goes. I will drink out of that.
There's a huge difference between those two.
Because I mean,
No, there is.
the lime cucumber goes is just excellent.
So I haven't had the pleasure of having that Malort shot yet, but I'm not a huge Goza fan. But at the same time, I think I would probably rather the Goza too.
I think we should get you a small shot cup of each one and then let you sip both so you can make a determination of which one is the worst of the two.
Okay.
That's an easy hands down winner on that one.
The lime cucumber goza, Mike, is just so refreshing.
But yeah,
It really
Top
is.
3 beers. I mean,
It's my number one.
that's all. Thank you for indulging my narcissism.
quick
I
question.
just know.
That will not have to do with what you're thinking.
Okay, because it always does.
Will your retirement depend on if somebody else retires?
Very likely. It's like
Pat's not retiring.
70%. If he retires,
I'm calling it here. Pat's not
I'm
retiring.
burying those cleats. I wanted to bury them at the field, but I couldn't find a shovel to start digging a hole with and just drop my cleats in it. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to indulge that. Finally, after fucking 13 seasons, I got one of these things, so I now know what Russell feels like. Russell can thankfully no longer make fun of me for not having a KOCC championship.
Welcome to the circle.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice in here. I'm ready to get fitted for my jacket.
We have cookies.
Yes, I want all of them. So that's it.
Hold up. You have something to say?
So you're really retired, or are you going to go to Saudi Arabia like Ronaldo?
If I don't retire, I will likely go to a fun team, a less competitive team that just wants to kind of have fun, but have a good time and like try. But they know they're not going to win a championship, so I can just show up, play, and now finally just play and drink like I want to, instead of having to like control my alcohol intake, so I can still be a productive contributor to the team.
Sunday pod would be very fun if that's the case.
It's like
You're not going to like me if I'm out in the sun all day drinking.
a beer league team, huh?
Yeah, we have a few of those in the league, and they're not bad teams. They just care about partying just as much as they do trying to win. So
Like the Code 3 Angels, just a kickball.
yes,
Well, congratulations, Pat.
thank
Yep,
you,
Congrats, man.
Big
thank you. Now leave me the fuck alone, Russell.
All right. Well, we talked about the Saints. We talked about fantasy football. Why don't we talk a little bit about the college football season? Because that's a little bit of a brighter spot for both Todd and I right now. So I know Todd's probably itching to get this one off his chest, so I'm going to let him go first.
Did any of you cats watch the Mississippi State Arizona State game last night?
No.
Negative.
crickets.
Why?
Yeah. Why is a better question?
Well, I mean, the game itself wasn't all that entertaining. Because, I mean, Mississippi State came out guns blazing. They scored, I think, on 4 or 5 plays on the opening drive. And I texted you guys. I was like, did y'all see Mississippi State's offense with the fire emoji?
The answer was still no. Yeah. Okay.
So they ended up going, I think, halftime 17-3. Mississippi State was up, and the whole momentum shifted. They couldn't do shit on offense or defense. They really couldn't stop the run on defense in the entire second half. So then Arizona State kicks a last-minute field goal to make the score 20-17. So, Mississippi State did not do a fucking thing in the second half. And I'm like, well, they didn't do anything offensively, so Blake Shapen is not going to have a miracle drive to win this game. It's over. I was tempted to turn the fucking TV off. But you know what? He throws a 50-yard bomb to Brennan Thompson, and they win. And Stark Vegas is just erupts in chaos.
And what's the record?
They're 2-0.
And who do they have next week? They got an easy matchup.
Oh, they got Alcorn State next week.
So yeah. So
I think they're going to start they'll start the season 4-0 because they have Northern Illinois after that. But once they get to SEC play, I don't know. But I'm riding this high, man. They suck. They won 2 games last year. They've already matched their total from last year.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
It's pretty nuts.
So, Travis, before you get to your Ohio State Buckeyes, because I have a thing about Ohio State I want to comment on, let me get my pain and misery out the way right now because I expected more heat coming to me, but you guys kind of disappointed, and I'm glad in a way because I didn't want to have to fucking relive this.
I saw they lost last night, but to South Florida, right?
Yes.
I was actually going to ask you a question when you were talking about the Colts and Daniel Jones taking over. I was wondering if there was a special place in your heart for Richardson because he was a Gator.
No, I didn't like him at Florida. I don't like him in the pros. And yeah, so.
But I think Richardson is a perfect example of why you can't read too much off of a combine, and you really need to go back and look at somebody's college record. He wasn't that great at
Y'all
Florida,
think?
but he tore the combine up, and all of a sudden he was a first round pick. So that's why you can't read too much into that.
Hey, we're going to draft a guy that started 9, 10, 11, 12 games and think he's a good enough quarterback, even though he can't read a fucking defense and he can't shift his protection, and he gets blown up in preseason because he's a dummy.
Well, I did see something on Facebook today, or maybe it was Twitter, I don't know, or X, whatever you want to call it. But, of course, Jalen Carter spit in Dak Prescott's face, and he was ejected on, with the first drive of the game, right?
Before the first drive, yeah.
Yeah, it was within the first 6 seconds of the game.
But apparently one of Florida's defensive linemen spit in University of South Florida's O-lineman's face, and he was ejected. And that was the final drive of the game. So they were, some fans were saying, "Oh, if he wouldn't have been ejected, it would have been a different outcome."
Though that's possible, the way the offense played, and kind of like the Saints, the penalties really, really halted some drives and momentum. Same sort of thing happened. It was 9-6, I think, around halftime, and there was an egregious interception thrown, and then we had a touchdown taken back because of a penalty. And then on the same drive, another touchdown taken back on a more questionable penalty, but still, that's 7 points right there. Then we come out in the second half, no juice, no desire. It looked like to take over this game, a home game against an in-state opponent, an inferior opponent with a really good quarterback, mind you. But yeah, Florida did what Florida does under Billy Napier. They shit on themselves.
The players got arrested.
Probably in the offseason they did, yeah. I'm sure they've got a 1 or 2 on their roster.
Is that a Napier thing, or is that more?
No, that's a Florida thing. We've been doing that since before the Aaron Hernandez days.
Yeah, Urban Meyer was responsible for some of that.
That was happening back in the Steve Spurrier days, yeah. So this is nothing new. In fact, Florida is better when we have multiple arrest offenders on our record. Oh, yeah. The talent's there, but so is the douchebaggery and the shithousery. So this is the norm. We need some of those arrestees on the roster. You want those arrestees on the roster. You need them on that wall. So, but this was just a case of the offense not recognizing what was going on, making stupid plays. The defense couldn't fucking hold up for any point in time. And yeah, we got our ass kicked at home in an embarrassing last-second field goal to lose the game to an unranked team, and it fucking sucked.
So I saw a little bit of that game, not by choice.
So why were you watching that one and not the Mississippi State one?
I was watching LSU.
Mike or me?
Him.
Oh,
I was watching LSU, so we went to Gennaro's last night because we dropped off the kids at the Rummel Pride night, and a bunch of the parents went to Gennaro's down the street.
Pride, huh?
So, yeah, Raider Pride.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I was so fucking pissed off that they would not change the Florida game on the TV and put it to the fucking LSU game, because they had 2 TVs in the whole place playing LSU, and then just random other games in the place. But where we were standing, it was hard to see the LSU game. So yeah, I was forced to watch the floor, a little bit of the floor, and I was thinking the whole time, who the fuck watches this shit?
Oh yeah, my buddy Patrick does.
I'm sorry for you that you had to endure that.
So then the Alabama game played right after, and then I was like, that's why everybody wants to see Alabama.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to watch Florida.
it was not good, not good. And
God.
for as much good work as Napier did towards the end of last season to kind of show that he can coach and the players are up for the task in these games, to come out week 2 against your first real opponent, because Long Island University, whatever, no disrespect, to come out against a team that is on paper not as good as you in a home game, and to play like that was disgusting. Like, their schedule is rough the next 6 weeks. I am not thrilled about what's going to happen to this team when they play the likes of Georgia, Texas, LSU in the next 6 weeks. Hell, I don't even know about the UCF game in 3 weeks or the Kentucky game as well. So it's just more disappointment from this team that I hate to like sometimes. And yeah, I at some point I just said, fuck it, I'm going to go start editing and doing something productive with my day. And then I got into the bourbon too. But transitioning to
thank you for letting me use your YouTube TV account so I can watch Mississippi State win.
I'm glad someone got some joy out of YouTube TV yesterday. But to transition to Travis's Ohio State Buckeyes, I first want to kind of go back a week earlier to the opening week of the season when they played Texas. Not so much to really dive into the game. I wanted to give them a shout out to what both Ohio State and Fox did in coordination with ESPN to show Corso doing his last headgear pick before he retires, which he went out like a champion. Every team that he coached or played for won. Every team he picked, including the headgear pick of Ohio State, won. But Ohio State they're extremely classy, so I'm not going to bash them at all, despite me not liking them so much. They went and spelled out Corso in the script for the band.
That band's awesome.
For sure, 100%. It's the best thing about the school and university. But they went out and spelled Corso on the field with the entire game day set on the field as well. And that was just a really, really cool moment to see. And it shows that how even no matter who you root for as a team, these teams and some of these programs, they respect the tradition and things like that. And what a very fitting send-off for Lee Corso by Ohio State to write his name in script on the field right before the game. And then they went out and put it on Texas. So that was a very pleasurable experience.
The Saints should totally tank for Arch, though.
He's not coming out after this year, I don't think.
Tell the Saints, the Who Dat Nation that.
No, but like I'll agree with you there. I think we're definitely going to miss seeing Corso on those pregame picks every Saturday morning. That's definitely something you almost look forward to when you're watching the picks, just to kind of see him be the final one and put the headgear on. But anyway, I've been very impressed with Ohio State. I think they're well on their way to the at least college football playoff, if not repeating again. They looked damn good against Texas, particularly their defense.
But they did beat up on West Jeff University last night, right?
They did. In case y'all didn't see yesterday, Ohio State beat the mighty Grambling State 70-0. So anyway, but what one of the things I'm excited about is I'm getting to see the quarterback who I wanted to start. I wasn't a humongous fan of Will Howard last year. He transferred from Kansas State. He simply won the job due to experience. I wasn't a huge fan of his play, even though he did win a championship. So you can't knock that. But I felt like he made some bonehead plays during the season, and didn't like some of his games. Julian Sayin is a guy I've been watching for the last 2 years, and I was glad to see him win out the job. He's not an overly big guy. He's not a guy who's going to run the football. He just has a good, strong arm and makes some nice, precise passes. And I'm really just excited to see, how he goes. And I know Todd and Russell are Dragon Ball fans at the table. His nickname is the Super Saiyan, so that's a pretty cool nickname too.
Yep, it's a badass nickname.
Yeah, that it is.
So I'm definitely excited for the start of that, and after coming off of a Saints loss and coming off of a fantasy 1 week loss, and not looking very good for our season, I think at least hopefully Todd and I's college programs can keep winning, so that way we have a little bit of something to look forward to for the football season.
I think my biggest takeaway from now 2 weeks of college football is that let's say the SEC start there. The SEC seems extremely wide open.
Yeah.
LSU, whether you like them or not, impressed against Clemson. Texas looked kind of stuck in the mud against Ohio State, a really good team. And I get it. They were the number one team in the country, yes, but they were an underdog in week 1 at Ohio State. So them losing that game, not the biggest shocker. I think it's more the matter of like how the quarterback played and how he looked. Mm-hmm. That was the biggest shocker to some. Oh, yeah. But also Arch Manning is only in like his 5th start. So again, on the road against the number one team in the country with a really good defensive coordinator and head coach setup. So not totally surprised that I wasn't freaking out about that. Georgia looked fine, but they didn't really play anybody. Alabama lost week 1 and then came back and beat up on ULM, I think, or Monroe.
Yeah, Monroe, yeah.
So I think the SEC is wide open. I don't know what to make of the Big Ten.
Yeah. I think I haven't really seen much of Penn State yet this year. I think Michigan looked good in week 1, but then had to play a tough Oklahoma team and really didn't look good at all yesterday. I think Oklahoma kind of ran away with it. Mm-hmm. So and they've got a freshman quarterback. I think he's got some time to grow, but it doesn't. I never lose sleep when Michigan loses a game, and they certainly didn't look good yesterday. So I think Ohio State should have their way with Michigan this year, but we'll see.
You should have had your way with them last year.
Should have, yeah. That's the thing. That was the 1 year too really, and they didn't. So anyway, we'll see. I'll speak on Arch for a second. Like I don't. I think it would probably serve Arch well to stay another year because he did not look good against Ohio State. He looked frazzled very easily. He looked unprepared. Then I watched a little bit of his game against San Jose State when I was waiting for I didn't even realize that Big Ten Network was part of your YouTube TV. So by the time I realized that, it was already like almost third quarter, and they had already pretty much pulled away from it.
So props to YouTube TV.
But I was watching a little bit of Arch play San Jose State, and he really looked kind of nervous in that one too. Like he himself was running the ball okay, and he was checking the ball down well. But when it came time to make a big throw, he looked very hesitant and missed a couple of big throws. So I don't know. I think this year for Arch is going to be a growing year, and it'd probably serve him well to stay another year.
I mean, his son, his dad, and his grandson, Arjun and Cooper, both kind of like tried to tamp some of the expectations before the season starts, and like, hey, the kid's going to take some time. Like this is all probably only his 5th start. Maybe he's played in 7, maybe 8 games, but it's only 5th start on the road. So I kind of understood why he looked the way he did. You want to see some more things from him. So, but he didn't have like the worst game, but he certainly did not play up to the level he needed to win, let alone kind of sway you away. I think he'll be fine as he gets more comfortable with playing with this team and getting reps in like real live game action. But yeah, he would be best served for this year and next year just to play at Texas. Just those reps matter; they count, and it will serve him well for whenever he does make the transition to the NFL.
Michael Russell, y'all have anything to add on college football before we move on from this topic? Not a damn thing.
You know who did look good? Garrett Nussmeier.
Are we talking about just yesterday? Because
no,
he's 2-0 and he knocked off Clemson.
The Clemson game, he looked really good. To be honest with you, I didn't see the game yesterday too much because I was I was partying it up, but the Clemson game, he looked pretty good.
Yeah, look, I think we talked about this a little bit before we got on air. Something my dad always used to say about college football matchups when they had a big matchup, and Garrett Nussmeier played his heart out against Clemson, ended up escaping with the win. There's sometimes a hangover the next week, and I think maybe he experienced that against a lesser Louisiana Tech team. But he'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean he's projected to be one of the top 2-3 quarterbacks drafted, so his play is at a certain level. And I honestly, my biggest takeaway from the Clemson game was more that the defense for LSU looked very, very good. Like along the lines of the
way better than they've looked in the last few years.
Yeah, they look closer to like the 2019 championship team than they have the last 2-3 years, and that gives me more hope if I were an LSU fan to how the season could go than just Nussmeier, because he's been playing at a pretty good level for a year now. So we know what was on him. The defense, there were some questions, and they stepped up big when it mattered, and against a really good opponent and quarterback on the road, and they bent a little bit, but they didn't break, and they made plays when they needed to. So from an LSU standpoint, I'd be much more enthusiastic about my defense playing at a really good high level than my quarterback, who I kind of feel is already at that top of the league level, playing a really good game and not giving it away. Because he had some they should have won the game by more, honestly, because they had the one touchdown on the ball that was deemed not a catch, which it was a catch and a touchdown, whatever. So they could have put more on Clemson. But to go in and do that to Clemson with a real good quarterback,
What were they ranked going in? Like 5 or something?
Clemson was 4, LSU was 9.
There you go.
And that should give you a lot of hope going into games in the season against Georgia and Bama. You have the defense from what it looks like in week 1 to compete and stifle those teams, or at least control them, to give your offense a chance to score, put up points, and hopefully right some of the wrongs of the last couple of years.
Who's before we switch over, like who do y'all think is in the Heisman lead right now? Do y'all think it's still Nussmeier or
Probably Mateer from Oklahoma. I think.
I would say Nussmeier and Mateer probably have the best odds right now, like from like the Vegas standpoint. I can't think of another player that really stood out. That
Is the South Carolina quarterback
Lenore Sellers. He's probably the Heisman favorite right now, just based off the last 2 weeks. But I think Nussmeier and Mateer are probably 2, 3, 4, and 5 in that range.
Because I said Mateer had the best week 1 out of any quarterback. I know he probably leveled out playing against a tougher Michigan team, but I know he's up there too.
He still had good numbers. He didn't I haven't watched all of the game. I'm kind of halfway through it, but so he didn't like come out like, wow, it's a clear cut game over. Sellers kind of same thing. He was kind of one of the favorites going into win the Heisman. He has shown progression, but he didn't he had some throws that were really good, but he ran over a couple people. So I think he probably did himself the most favor so far in week 1 and week 2 for the Heisman, but I think there's still plenty of time for people to kind of get in there.
We also can't count out Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State. So, he was well over 100 yards, had 2 touchdowns. It was in scrambling, but
talent alone, he should always be in the Heisman conversation just because he is that good. As long as they can get him the ball and let him operate and do his thing, he's going to be right there. Him and Ryan Williams from Alabama, the now sophomore, who's just ridiculously talented. They're the 2 best receivers in college football, I believe, and they should be right there with the top of the quarterbacks for the Heisman, though.
No, let's not count out Brennan Thompson from Mississippi State.
All right, this is going to be our last topic for the day on sports, because this is not entirely tied to sports, more so than it is tied into assholes. So in the news recently, we've had a couple of instances go pretty viral where adults have taken balls and caps from young kids at tennis matches and baseball games. So I want to get you guys' opinions on that. I think we're all going to have the same consensus, but let's not shy away from shaming these individuals.
Okay, so the Polish business owner was just a straight up fucking nozzle. That hat was clearly for the kid, and he just reached over and snatched that motherfucker. And you could see the kid is visibly upset, that was my hat.
The kid had his hand on the hat, and this motherfucker pulls it out of his hand. and puts it and stuffs it in his bag because I guess he didn't want, tried to do it before people could see it, but it's all on camera, fella.
That looked like he gave the kid a pin back. So, I mean, did he borrow the kid's marker too and then give it back to him? I mean, I don't need the marker anymore.
I got his hat. I got his sweaty hat. I'm all good now.
Am I wrong on that? It looked like he gave him the marker back.
I think you're right. Because he was getting the guy to sign his big tennis ball that they sell at those events for them to get the athletes to sign, and I think he was probably borrowed it to get something else signed and then gave it back to him. But either way, like
I don't know the Karen at the Phillies game. I mean that was ridiculous. Me and Todd kind of were joking around a little bit though. The reaction that the dad had when the Karen came up to him was, I mean, that was probably that could be a meme right there, right?
Oh, I mean,
I'm sure it is.
I have actually yet to see this, so I need to see this.
It was funny. The guy, the Karen goes up to him like bitching him out or whatever, and he takes the ball, gives it to her, and he does like.
but no, he did that before he gave her the ball.
yeah, he did that like right when she touches him. He's like,
I think he was just startled, like he wasn't expecting her to come up behind him and be all aggressive, the way she was. So just to kind of shed some light, Russell said he hadn't seen it. I know most of us have, but a home run ball gets hit in a Phillies Marlins game. It's in the Marlins Stadium too. So crazily, these two fans are both wearing Phillies stuff in the Marlins Stadium, and so it gets hit in the outfield seats, and it hits off of a seat that's in front of the Karen's husband. And you see the guy kind of reach his hands, but he gave like a little half-ass effort to catch it. So it hits off the back of the seat in front, falls in the row, and is rolling towards the dad. Well, the dad runs and grabs it and gives it to his son. And the woman comes down a row and like hunts this guy down, gets all in his face and said, "That's my husband's ball. It hit his hands. It was his ball." And then the guy clearly just wanted the woman out of his face, so he gave her the ball. And shout out to the Phillies. The Phillies ended up sending a package up to his seat. They ended up.
That's awesome.
They ended up taking him into the locker room, and he got to meet Harrison Bader. Was the guy that hit the home run, so he ended up getting an autographed bat from Harrison Bader in place of the ball. So shout out to the Phillies for that. But
and he's going to the World Series.
Yes.
So this kid made out like a bandit.
Yeah, he did.
So good for him, because I mean that situation should never happen. I saw. It was actually a meme somebody posted underneath it. Not a meme, it was just a saying under it, and it said there's two rules with foul balls. It's like if you catch it, it's yours. If you catch it and somebody takes it out your hands, it's still yours. If you go to catch it and you miss it, it's fair game.
Yeah.
It's for anybody else's. And then he wrote underneath it in number 2, nobody should absolutely ever take a ball from a kid. So I mean, like it's a shame to see that grown adults behave this way. It's like for this situation with the Polish millionaire who took the hat, like what the fuck is he going to do with a hat? Prop it up in a man cave like this and let it collect dust?
Hey. You're throwing shade at my man cave here.
Well, but I'm even thinking like even if I was in
Armory collection coming soon.
Let me see. Let's just say.
Kano knife?
Well, I'll use Patrick and Russ don't have kids yet. If you guys were in the
That I know of.
If you guys were in the stands and y'all caught a foul ball, let's just say y'all didn't even drop it, and you happen to notice a row in front of you and there was like 3 kids, would y'all think to reach over and probably drop it to one of them?
Absolutely not. If I'm there, if I'm a fan, man, I mean, I want that ball. Like, I don't know. If I could catch it fair and square, nah, fuck those little kids.
Wow.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them
says Russell.
kids.
All right, Tom Brady.
He said, "Fuck them kids."
Obviously, one, I wouldn't really reach out for. Well, I might reach out for the ball if I caught it. The first thing I'm doing is looking to find the closest kid to me and be like, "Here, take this. It's a fucking baseball."
Yep.
One, I'm never super starstruck by athletes to the point where I need a signature for something for the most part. If I go to a meet and greet or something like that, that's different. But if I catch a ball, it's a baseball. It's worth like $2, and it's not like now. If it were like,
Is it though?
yeah, it's worth more in memories to the child than it is to me, and for whatever it costs. If it's a World Series type home run ball, maybe I keep it. Maybe I see about getting it autographed by the player down the road or whenever. but I don't
A regular game now.
know. And the last thing I'm doing, whether I catch it or not, is going to confront another adult or a child over a baseball. There, or like the t-shirt cannon. Man, cool. If I catch one, cool. If I don't, so be it. It's a t-shirt.
They
I
probably
can
fit
buy
like
another
shit
one.
anyway.
Russell, you taking notes?
No, so and I mean,
Taking counterpoints.
and
Right
granted, this was at a Zephyrs game years ago, but I remember a foul ball getting hit, and it happened to roll, and I ended up grabbing it, and then I ended up seeing that it was a row behind me, and it was a kid with his grandma, and I just turned around and said, here you go. And like she thanked me like so much for that. She was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that. That was so nice of you." And I'm sitting there kind of like you, thinking like just a baseball, and it was hit by a minor leaguer, so it's not like it was anything that special. But
I'm so nonchalant to it. Like if the ball landed like say a rope in front of me, unless the ball rolls like right at my feet, I'm not moving to get it. I don't care. It's a baseball. It's nothing special. Like if it again, same thing. The home run derby, maybe a different story. Or the All-Star game, whatever. If it's not in a game of importance, I don't care about the object. Now, maybe for a hockey puck at the Avalanche game, I might make my body wider than it normally is to try to catch it. But I'm also not going to like try to Randy Moss a kid for a hockey puck. Like if I can't get it, I can't get it. I can go buy a hockey puck. It's not the end of the world.
yeah, and look, I mean,
You would moss them.
But then the sad part of
I
this
lost the shit out of him.
is this guy just wanted to get the ball for his kid. Like he didn't want to take it from the adult couple to keep it for himself. He wanted to get it for his kid.
Right when he got it, he threw it in the kid's glove and he gave him a hug. I thought that was a little endearing. And then the lady comes running up to him and he's like, "Whoa,
Ooh, yeah.
I wish everybody could have seen that.
It simply boils down to like parents and adults, mostly just adults, understanding the situation. You come to these games, the moment is for the kids. You can be there and you can be entertained at the game, but when things like this happen, it's for the kids and making memories. Now, again, if you caught the ball like right in your lap, you didn't have to move for it. Sure, keep it. You don't have to give it to anyone. It'd be cool if you did, but you don't have to. If there's some sort of scrum for a ball where the ball is like rolling around in front of you, and there's even one kid running towards it, let the kid have the ball. You're an adult. You have memories. You have money. You can go buy as many baseballs as you want. You let the kid have the ball. Let them go. Let the kids fight it out for the ball. It's just a baseball.
I mean, what's a bucket of balls cost? Probably like
It's expensive.
10. Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't care if they cost $100.
But it's, don't matter. It's
You
for
can
the kids.
you can turn around, go on eBay the same night, and buy a ball from a game anywhere.
Well,
A cooler ball, even.
Well, this Polish millionaire could have bought, however many hats he wanted. And I don't know crap about tennis. Was the guy who gave his hat any good? Was like how he ranked? Was the guy who
Maybe he wanted to lick the sweat off of it.
Maybe he was. Don't kink shame the guy.
Maybe he had I don't kink shame anybody. So
Maybe it's like swim fan. And he was just that obsessed with the player that he's like, oh, I need everything. I want his musk.
Anyway, but I think we're mostly on the same page here with this as far as
Minus
I do have a
Russell.
question for y'all. So both situations egregious as far as what happened. Neither of those people were right. Do y'all think that the Karen should have lost her job for it? Because to my understanding, she has now been fired.
I know that has been posted. I'm wondering if it's legit or not.
I
though.
saw.
I don't know.
I saw something that was posted by the school district that they were saying that she worked for, saying that the lady was never employed there, and that
So
they only hire employees that give baseballs to kids or something like that. So
It's
they
all-
kind of closed on that.
I think it's all probably been fabricated, but I don't think that's something you should lose your job over. I mean,
I also agree because this person's an ultra shithead for lack of a better word. But I don't think you should lose your job.
I think her coworkers will be side eyeing her for probably at least for the next few months.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like she broke some law and embarrassed her company on national air and like that. Now, on the flip side, I am completely okay with a team deciding or banning her from maybe not for the rest of the season or for life.
I'm on board with that.
You can't come to a couple games, or maybe you can't come to
The rest of the season,
or the playoff games, something like that. There needs to be some punishment to start deterring these idiots and assholes
Being
from being
reprimanded some
assholes.
kind of
Yeah,
way, sure.
because she could just do it again. You want to stop it, then
don't
make
let
some
them get away with
punishment.
it.
Yeah, not letting them come to games, I think, is the right way to try to enforce you not being a douchebag.
I mean, this goes back to an old conversation we had on probably one of our first Ways the Wagons episodes. If y'all haven't listened to this one, go back and find it. You can listen to us on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But remember when we talked about the teacher who lost her job for being on OnlyFans, and none of us thought she should have lost her job. I mean, we know we know teachers don't make a lot of money.
Did we publish that episode?
Yes, we did.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Pat. There was probably a
happens-
lot edited out of that episode.
Maybe.
This is what happens when we have members that don't listen to episodes.
To be fair, it was like
be fair.
50 something episodes ago. So if you don't remember from 2 years back, I might give you a small pass.
So listeners, go back and find this episode. But the
Yeah.
Wasted Wagons did not want to see that lady fired.
Yeah, before we started sounding like professionals, when we were just on one microphone talking, like having a circle jerk.
People need to eat,
You are right. People need to eat.
What, Travis?
Whatever their flavor is. I think the situation is a bit apples to oranges, but I understand where you're going with that. Yeah, if you're out taking lewds and nudes online and potentially putting your career and or the school in a bad light, get it. If you're just a nozzle, though I don't agree with it, if you're just a nozzle being a nozzle to kids, not fire-worthy. But also, I don't subscribe to OnlyFans, so I don't know what kind of content. Shut up, Russell.
Bullshit. You've only heard.
I don't know what kind of content this woman is putting out. Maybe it was like super lewd. Who knows what it was? But maybe there was something there, or they just want to like get ahead of the curve and maybe go over aggressive to prevent any kind of backlash from them from not being aggressive enough and just save face. I don't know. Maybe there was a donkey show, and maybe they're like, nah, bro, that's a little bit too far.
This is bachelor party.
Cock ring or no?
Now, Mike, before we close this segment out, I was trying to think about what that man's reaction reminded me of when he was all like this. I think it was the first time Camden ever went in the car wash, and he didn't know whether to be terrified or happy, and he was just kind of like,
Wait. I'm confused. Like a car wash, like drive-through car wash?
yeah, drive-through car wash.
How long ago was this?
This was when he was a kid, his baby, and he was all like, his terrified reaction.
It's terrifying just seeing you do that.
It's a little erogenous, actually. Quite honest.
All right, Todd. So, since we ended the last segment with you, we're going to start this one with you. And you said that you had a gear grinder that you wanted to kind of get off your chest. So, without further ado, would you like to tell us your gear grinder?
And now it's time for another segment of What Grinds Todd's Gears. I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily or falls under the gear grinder category, but so we last Sunday before or for Labor Day weekend, we went to the Gulf Islands Water Park out in Gulfport, Mississippi. And it was actually it was actually a pretty fun little day because the lines weren't extremely long like they used to be at Blue Bayou. There was no like really really big slides there though. Like there wasn't like a Lafitte's Plunge type ride or like the big funnel type ride. So overall,
Kind of lame.
It was mid.
it was kind of lame. But I mean, there was one really fun slide. It was a little green one that you went on a raft, and it kind of had some drops in it, but nothing.
This was
Nothing-
more about
nothing-
the family experience and not so much the water park experience.
Yeah, true. I mean, it was like I said, the lines weren't long, but the rides weren't anything, the slides weren't anything special. So, anyways, they did have like the racer slide, like Blue Bayou has, where you lay down, stomach down on the mat, you're like kind of going down the hills, you're jumping up, trying to beat everybody. So me and Camden were the only two that really went on that. Well, I guess Grayson and her boyfriend went on it, but they kind of broke away from us.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Boyfriend.
we brought Grayson's boyfriend, and He's ironically the athletic director at Riverdale's kid. So
We can talk about that later, but go on.
Is this part of the gig, Ryan?
no, good kid. So we're going to these racing slides, and it's just Camden and I, because Jessica don't really ride like anything that's really that big. So we're going up the slide, and then the guy working at the slide stops me, and he said, "Whoa, you got to get on the scale." And I'd already, keep in mind, I'd already been on the slide like 3 times. This was probably like the third time we've been on it, or third or fourth time we've been on it. So I'm like, whoa, the 2 previous chicks working here didn't ask me to get on the slide. Get on the scale? Why the hell do I got to get on the scale now? So I get on the scale, and I'm like, and he's like, all right, you can go. So then I'm walking past, and I see the sign that says, if you're over 280 pounds, you can't go on this ride. So I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, okay, I don't look 280 pounds. Like, what the fuck? Was this dude just being a fucking douchebag, like trying to like show his authority? Like, I don't understand.
I think so.
I feel like it's an understatement. Like, Jesus.
So, I mean, it's like, fuck, you know. The third time going on the slide, the 2 girls working there before didn't stop me. And this guy's like, hey, whoa, you got to get on the scale. And so Travis missed it. So I was just telling him, we went on the racing slide, you know, like Blue Bayou used to have, where you just lay stomach down on the mat and you got to race other people.
Yeah.
So we'd already been on it. It was me and Camden. We'd already been on it like 3 times before, maybe 2 times before.
Travis, did you know Grayson had a boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he actually goes to the school I work at.
Carry on.
So we're walking up, and then the guy working on the slide stops me, and he's like, whoa, you got to get on the scale. And I'm like, but the 2 girls working there before didn't ask me to get on the scale. Mm-hmm. So I get on it, and he's like, all right, you're good to go. And then I walk past, and there's a sign that says, if you're 280 pounds or more, you can't get on the slide. And I'm like, I don't like remotely look like I'm 280 pounds. I'm fucking, I push 150 on a good day. You know, it's like, what, 280 pounds? Like, so I was saying, do you think this guy was just fucking trying to show his authority and be like, well, you got to go on the slide. You got to go on the scale.
Absolutely. I think he's just being a prick.
Can you describe this gentleman to us? Like under 18?
He was probably maybe 18 to 20-ish, Caucasian male.
I didn't need that part.
Relevance?
0. Broccoli haircut. What was the haircut?
No, he did not have the broccoli haircut.
Tight fade.
So he didn't.
He didn't look like a popular kid. So maybe there was a.
Maybe he gets bullied in high school and was trying to bully you.
No, that's
To me, I'm sorry. Go ahead, John.
When you were first describing the situation, my first thought to the kid was, he's like skinny. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Why was that so loud?
My first thought was he was like
Sorry, Mike.
in like board shorts, like shirtless, skinny. He had like a little ab or 2 going,
like a Chad.
Yes, but like little. He's like, I'm gonna show off how cool I am. I got my hair cut. I got no shirt on. I got a couple abs here. My skinny shorts, broccoli cut hair. I just thought he would look like a Chad.
No, not a Chad. Just looked like
He looked like a chode.
Chode, yes. I mean, he was a little bit chubby, like kind of pale, dark hair. Probably like a little nozzly.
Okay.
Probably like maybe 18, maybe 20, maybe college age. Excuse me. Whoa, sir, get on the scale.
Was it something to do with like who you were racing? Was it like going if you were racing against Camden or something?
I don't think that had anything to do with it. I mean, they had 6 slides total, so I mean, it didn't matter.
What was the limit? What was the
280 pounds.
You should have climbed
280.
You should have climbed your ass right back up there and said, "Excuse me, I just read the sign. It said 280 pounds. Do I look like I'm 280 pounds?"
Was there a total weight limit, like on all the slides? Maybe.
I don't know. I didn't see that. There was just one sign that was literally probably like 20 feet behind this guy as I crossed it. You cannot ride the slide if you're 280 pounds or more.
Yeah, if there's no underlying thing, like I think it was just a thing that he wanted to show that it was his job and he had some kind of authority, or like you said, maybe he's a high school kid that gets bullied himself and needs to feel like he has to take that authority out on somebody.
Or maybe he saw like his supervisor walking around and was like, "Oh shit, I better do my job."
It's always a possibility.
That sounds like
It's like if that happened, then like I don't think it's as egregious a situation as we're thinking, but it sounds pretty bad.
It's kind of like, being a teacher and you're going to get evaluated by the principal that day and you have to like tell the kids like, y'all need to be on your best behavior because we're going to have a guest in here observing me.
Yeah,
You
this
know,
kind of reminds me of like the times you go to the grocery store to buy beer, and they card you even though you look like you're 40s.
you know.
Bitch, I got
It's like
gray hair.
I got fucking gray hair on my fucking head and my beard. I mean, I'm not fucking.
I mean, and
18?
I really do believe that in those situations when it's a young person, they're probably just doing it because they're scared that a manager's going to come up to them and say, "I didn't see your card, that gentleman." You know, so maybe Todd's right on that one. Maybe they had something to do with that. Maybe he saw the manager, and the manager was making sure he was putting people on the scale. Maybe he got in trouble for that before.
Maybe.
You know.
Maybe either that or he thought he was a big swinging dick at Gulf Islands Water Park.
Maybe you thought you were a bitch. A fat bitch. I don't know. I'm just offering suggestions. He probably looked like he's like, I could take this chump. So you know what? Oh yeah, he's older. That's fine. I'm gonna fucking get his ass. Get on the scale, motherfucker.
Look at this old douchebag with all this tattoos.
Look at his fucking cowboy nose. Over here trying to get on the side, look all cool and shit.
Maybe he thought he was 280
This guy's
pounds
got-
of swole.
Maybe it was actually a compliment. Like, damn, this dude is
Damn.
ripped. Just eating protein all day and night. Look at him all jacked up and shit.
You sure that probably wasn't it?
Hello, Sean.
What's up?
How
got?
are you?
Would you like some bourbon?
Is that a shot on my lord?
Funny you mentioned that.
All right, so one of the things that we have on the agenda today, Todd, Sean, and I actually went to a concert at Southport Hall the other night, and this was actually a 25-year reunion show based upon 25 years since each of them released an album, and it was Spineshank and Union Underground. It was kind of like a co-headliner show. Union Underground actually came on last as the main headliner, even though part of me wonders if they kind of rotated. Because you could see that Spineshank actually had the bigger merch booth and everything.
They played more songs, too.
Yeah, they actually played 15 songs. Union Underground only played 12.
I think a little bigger crowd too.
yeah,
It looks like some people went home.
It
before.
kind of reminded me of that concert we went to when it was Bush, Stone Temple Pilots, and the Cult. And most people probably came there to see Bush and Stone Temple Pilots, and the Cult headlined the show. And then a lot of people kind of cleared out when they came on.
Yeah, so the Spineshank actually definitely had a bigger crowd than Union Underground, and you did notice some people. But I always like the shows at Southport Hall. They're usually not very crowded, which is unfortunate for the band. But at the same time, they're usually reasonably priced tickets for really good shows. So I actually had a really good time. They both played the albums top to bottom that were from the 25 year. Since the release, they played that whole album top to bottom. Spineshank actually added 3 extra songs at the end of theirs from some of their other albums. So I actually thought it was a really good show. So I don't know what you guys.
What did
They
we?
played them in order,
what-
the whole album.
They played a whole album in order from 1 to 10 or whatever. However many songs.
Both of them were mixed. Meaning Spineshank's album that they played in its entirety and Union Underground. It's like it was the whole album at some point.
I've actually really enjoyed concerts that play them from cover to cover. That's fun because like you're expecting that next song. You know what's about to happen. And
Yeah, like Three Doors Down when we saw them definitely played number 1 through number 11. They were in order. You knew what was coming next.
Incubus's 20th anniversary for Make Yourself did that, and it was a super fun show.
Yeah. What do we even pay? Because we had to go inside and pay at the bar. I don't even, and the receipt
huh?
said $0. I don't even know how much the tickets cost.
They were $30.
30. Yeah.
Southport's great. It's a cheap venue. It's small, but it's just a fun experience.
It's usually the tickets are usually always $20, $25, $30. I mean, again, two really good bands. One of my big takeaways is that I was unfamiliar with this band beforehand, but the second band that came on was a band called Julian K. And it caused me. I was kind of looking at them up on stage, and it was like these guys do kind of look familiar. Well, then towards the end of the set, they play Blue Monday from Orgy, and then they the lead singer of the band is actually the guitar player, the original guitar player in Orgy,
Oh, that's cool.
Ryan Shuck. So then he says, "Y'all might
Not
remember
Tyler
us."
Shuck. Ryan Shuck.
Does he spell it like show?
No, he spells it SHUCK.
Yeah,
Like you shuck an oyster.
But,
exactly, like you would think. The Biloxi Shuckers.
So he says, "Y'all may remember us from our old band Orgy," and oh shit, and then end up looking it up, and it is two of the original guys from Orgy. Plus, they have a drummer that was not in Orgy, but at the same time,
Well, they were both guitar players. The other guy, Amir, he played guitar the whole time.
he played
I
the
think.
Zetar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we saw Friday night, he played guitar the whole time. The singer picked one up here and there and played stuff.
Yep, but that was a nice, pleasant surprise there. We even got a picture of them with them before we left, so that was really cool. Again, all around for me, just a good cheap experience, good music. I always enjoy going to watch those shows.
Tickle in my throat.
I mean, I'm gonna kind of piggyback on what Travis said though. I mean, he was talking about Julian K and how he was unfamiliar with them. I mean, I only knew one song by the Union Underground, and that was "Turn Me On, Mr. Deadman." Until actually the guy Tommy we went with was over at my house before Travis picked us up, and he was like, "Oh, they sang like the WWE Raw theme song," and I didn't know they did that either. And I listened to it, I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't know that was them." So I basically knew two songs by them going in, but their whole set list was pretty awesome. I mean, I've listened to that song "South Texas Death Drive" about 10 times since the show.
That's the one I was saying was probably their best one. I remember that being a favorite when I had the album 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
So I'm trying to get Camden to kind of make that his walk-up music for baseball, but
Especially when the chorus says "South Texas Death Ride, you motherfucker." Yeah, I was forgetting that. Yeah, like certain songs, I was like, oh yeah, they do have a few curse words in their songs. Like even that WWE song, I couldn't believe, like, play that fucking music or whatever he says. I couldn't believe they had those. That was a WWE song with all those F-bombs in there.
And one thing I told Travis was like, and I don't remember, obviously, like I said, I only knew one song by him, so I don't remember how the singer looked back in the day, but to me, his voice doesn't match his appearance.
No.
Like he almost looks like a little small Irish-looking guy, and then he's got that kind of, play that fucking music.
But my recollection of him when he was younger was that he looked a lot like Spider from Power Man 5000.
I was about to say, they got compared to Power Man 5000. Like, "Turn Me On, Mr. Deadman," people thought was Power Man 5000,
Yeah, he used to have the dyed blonde hair just like Spider, and they had very much similarity.
I think he performed shirtless too, but then he definitely did not gain weight like some other members of other bands.
Yeah, it was funny. The singer of Spineshank comes out on stage, and then we're like, "Oh shit!" And he ends up making like a reference to himself. He's like, "Thanks for giving up your Saturdays to hang out with us old fat farts."
Yeah, it looks like he ate one of the former members.
Wasn't he kind of buff back in the day?
He was pretty muscular back when he was younger. So yeah, he definitely let himself go. But anyway, all around good times. We're always looking for shows over there just because of the idea that it's a good, spacious environment, cheap prices. I had myself a really good time. I was glad that Tommy decided to come with us at the last minute. That was pretty cool to see him. But yeah, all in all, a good show. Anybody else have anything to add on that?
The only disappointment was that I wish Spineshank would have been the headliner because there was a noticeable difference in the sound. Like the whole setup was made for the headliner, like it usually is. Mm-hmm. And I found that Spineshank was very muddy. Mm-hmm. Like the songs weren't as clear as they could have been. And then Union Underground comes on. They have the whole stage. They move all the other shit out the way for 4 guys. When Spineshank had 5 guys. And
What was that?
What was that? Who was that?
It sounded like bubble guts.
It definitely
Sounded
did.
like a diarrhea fart.
Are there
I guess it wasn't me. I was talking.
are there any other upcoming shows that you guys are interested or going to?
Atreyu's coming to the Joy Theater in November, and I know
Y'all bought
that's
tickets for that yet?
we did not buy them yet,
Yeah,
but
I'm in
that's
on
It's
that.
November 11th, huh?
that's definitely one I would like to see. And then the possibility of seeing Seven Dust at Fillmore. It's an all acoustic show. We may want to do that one.
It's another damn Tuesday, but
I've seen Seven Dust so many times, though. It's kind of like I don't know.
I finally broke. I had seen them 7 times for the longest, and then the time we went a couple years ago, that was finally my 8th time seeing them. So
You fucked it up.
I know it should have kept it at 7 and called it a day. But
So yeah, those are 2 that I definitely would like to see. Somebody had mentioned Everclear might be coming here in January.
yeah, I thought they were going on sale soon, meaning like they're not coming for another few months or
But
something.
they're playing at LaBerge, though, right?
I don't know.
I thought it was Fillmore or something, somewhere closer. But
I
yeah,
wouldn't mind going either. I mean, spend the night in Baton Rouge.
Go to Agile.
Yeah, agile. Tin roof closed though, so
Rally cap.
belly cap. Yeah.
So yeah, those are some upcoming shows I'm interested in.
Now Travis mentioned a while back when we actually saw Orgy at Southport Hall, like 5 or 6 years ago, and there was a baseball tee that Travis wanted to buy for like $30, and he didn't get it, and he said he couldn't find it online, so he regretted not buying it. Well, there was a Spine Shank shirt there as well. I mean, any regrets not buying that shirt?
No. So this one, it was. So I actually saw one of their set crew had an older shirt on that was really cool. It was like very cartoony, and I was like, oh, that's a really cool shirt. If they have that one, I would consider buying it, but they didn't have it. It was probably an older model, but Todd did find it on TeePublic, so might consider looking back at it. But no, this one, it was too plain for $35. It just had a skull and it said Synthetic, which is one of their bigger hits, is the name of the song, Synthetic, written on the skull. Then I thought about it, but then I was like, nah, $35, kind of plain looking. So no, I wasn't gonna get no regret on that one.
Top 5 band shirts.
Orgy shirt's already hard to find, and then the idea that it had all the tour dates on the back and it was a baseball tee, which you don't see too often, I thought that was and it was $30, not $35 at the time. So I
feel like it's pretty cheap for a baseball tee.
Yeah,
like the 3/4 length sleeve.
Yep. I regret it, and it had the tour dates on the back. So anyway. That's why if I ever saw one I really wanted, I'd probably have to pull the trigger at this point. Because
Pretty much going into a concert like that at a merch booth, if a shirt, you have to assume at least 35, 40 probably. That's the going rate.
Shit, nowadays I feel like that's cheap.
I mean,
Somebody got gut rot or something?
it must got to be him.
Is that
No, it's not me. It's definitely not me.
It's not. Ooh, it's not the Yellow Jackets.
I don't know what that is, but it's something.
It's bad.
Something's churning and bubbling.
How do y'all feel about buying T-shirts with the tour dates on the back versus a regular shirt? Because I can't do it. I don't need the T-shirt.
I usually
guess that's true.
go for that. It was over like nothing on the back. I usually want one that's got tour dates on it, so I can remember that's the the day and year and whatever that I went to that
A lot of
concert.
times they'll do specific tour date, like that venue shirts, and they'll be different.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it really all depends on the design. So, I mean, if it, like kind of what Travis said, like with the Spine Shank shirt that he likes, I like cartoony type designs. Like my favorite band shirt that I have right now is an Alice in Chains shirt with a devil on it, and he's holding like a fucking frosted beer mug.
That sounds wonderful.
It fits good. It looks cool. That's my favorite band shirt right now.
Yeah, well, as far as answer Patrick's question about the tours on the back, it would depend. Like I think I like cartoony style shirts. As a matter of fact, I wore a Mudvayne shirt to the concert that had their cartoon characters on it.
That's a great shirt.
And no tour dates on the back of it. I just love it. And so if they had a combo with something really cool on the front and the tour dates on the back, I wouldn't mind. I think the Orgy shirt just had their regular O logo on the front, but I just liked the fact that it was a baseball tee, and I did like the fact that it had the tour dates on the back.
Yeah, I mean the one I wore to the concert was one I bought at the Killswitch Engage concert, but it was a gimmicky shirt. It's Shadows Fall, the opening band, and it says it in the Dunkin' Donuts logo, and it says America Runs on Metal, and it's like, okay, that's like a subtle band shirt. I figured I had to get that because I would wear that, other places. Like I'd wear that to, family and things like that. It's like when I buy a band shirt nowadays, I have to think like, who am I going to wear this in front of? Usually they have like skulls and death and things like that on it. It's like, am I really going to wear that in public? So, or wear that around people that would be like, what is that on your shirt?
So I'm wearing one of his death metal band shirts to like a family function, like riding calf corpse or something.
I just saw a meme. I saw a meme, and it's that like seal with that like oh shit look on his face. You know what I'm talking about? And it says like friend invites you over for a sleepover, wearing Slayer shirt, and his mom says, "Remember, we have to go to church tonight." and he's wearing his Slayer shirt.
One last question before we close out. Along the same lines, how do you feel about wearing a shirt of the band to the concert that you're going to see of that band?
I know it's in PCU and the whole joke, but I don't see any problem with it. I don't really care.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it because I actually wore a Shinedown shirt to the Shinedown concert I went to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of like wearing a Saints jersey to a Saints game. Like I think it's and I normally don't wear like other band shirts to concerts, even though I did to this one. It was just, I guess it kind of, for me, it kind of has to fit the vibe. Like, I looked at it as like Mudvayne kind of a heavy band, and then Spineshank a heavy band, so I figured it went in pretty well.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely wear a band shirt of a different band to that concert, because then it's like, what else am I going to wear these shirts, you know?
My goal for shows is, and I'm just going to give an example, and I haven't done this before, but if I were to go see some kind of heavy band, I'm going to wear like a Chapel Roan shirt to their, something that's completely out of the blue. Like it's almost like a statement. Like,
well, I do feel like the shirts off of TeePublic that are like pop culture related anyway are good to wear to concerts too. Like it's like a cartoony. One of the shirts I have is from the Umbrella Academy. It's very cartoony and whatnot. I feel like it's a good one to wear to concerts.
It's a good show. Like that. I like that show.
I think I've only done it once. I think I wore a Stained shirt to a Stained concert, mostly because the logo, it was just like their name in like their CD album font. And it's like small, like it barely like went from like nipple. It didn't even go from like nipple to nipple. And I got some wide nipples, but nipple.
Write that down. That's an album title. Pod title.
Wide nipple placement.
Nipple to nipple.
Yeah, but other than that, like I used to not like the idea of wearing a band's shirt to their concert, but there was really no justification I had for it other than just being contrarian and being me. So I'm more okay with it now, but I try not to. I'd rather wear either a plain shirt of some sort, or maybe another band, kind of like Sean said, of the same vein as or you said, Russell, as well, that I'm going to go see. But I don't know why. Just back in the day, I wouldn't do that. But now, this depends.
I feel like contrarian is a good word. Like, there's no reason for me to like not approve somebody wearing the same band shirt of the concert you're going to. But I do expect myself, if I'm going to see a concert, it's obviously somebody I like, so I'm going to go. I want to go buy a shirt. So like I want to wear something different, and I'm just going to buy something that I can also wear. And not that those relate whatsoever, but I don't know. I don't know. I have something against wearing the band shirt.
So you don't get turned off by the $35, $40 T-shirts at the merch booths?
All right. So the last time I bought a shirt, I did not buy a shirt at the Metallica concert I went to, and the one I went to before that, I think like a bigger concert at least, was Incubus. I'm pretty sure I passed on a $55 shirt, and I'm okay with that because that was just outrageous.
There's nothing worse than when a band at a concert has subpar merch, because like I go in wanting to buy merch, at least a sticker, maybe a hat or a T-shirt, but I definitely want something from them. And if the merch sucks, I'm like, not that the whole night was a letdown,
sure,
but it definitely sours part of the experience. And like, man, I couldn't buy anything cool to take back to then remember, or at least show my gratitude or whatever you want to call it from the band at that show.
That's almost why I like having the dates on the back of a shirt, because it's like a remembrance kind of thing. Like I was
that's my take on it. Yeah.
Well, Todd actually bought a Julian case sticker. He has it stuck on that case back there because when we asked the two members of Orgy to take a picture with us, you could kind of like, well, one of them looked, maybe it was just his demeanor, didn't look too happy to do it, and the other guy was like, oh sure, yeah, absolutely. So then Todd was like, well, since they took the picture with us, I'm going to buy a little something from their stand. So he actually bought a sticker from them.
Yeah,
so.
Not that I wouldn't have bought. I didn't even realize he bought that, but yeah. I would have looked at their stuff longer. Like especially if I go to a show by myself, I'm on my own time. I've actually bought like some signed CDs and things in the past. Just to well, it's collector's item too.
So how were they as a band? Good, decent.
Julian,
yeah.
So they definitely had an Orgy feel to them. So that was one of the things that I did like about them. I kept telling Sean, like they to me they sounded like a cross between the band Dope and an Orgy. So they had a couple of good songs. So like I went back and listened to a few songs from their set list, and it was probably like 50-50 as far as like good ones and ones that I could pass on. But
how many hearts out of 5?
I mean, music-wise, maybe like 3.5 hearts, but like I'd bump them up to 4 just because they were nice dudes in person.
Yeah, I could get into them more. I mean, because they toured with the band Birthday Massacre. I knew their name. I didn't realize exactly who they were, but that's this, it's like synth rock, kind of dark wave as it's called. That's that style. It's like a lot of synths. Like only 3 members, they had a lot of other, noises and effects and things going on for just the 3 guys playing up there.
Pre-recorded, like they just hit a play button, or
Union Underground had a guy off to the side too that looked like a DJ with the laptop open and was definitely doing some, effects and things, not just the straight up guitars and bass and drums.
Yeah, I had heard that Ryan Shuck he was probably my favorite member of Orgy, and I had heard that when he left that he had gone to another band, and I just didn't really pay attention to the name, so that was why it was partly a pleasant surprise when I figured out that that's who they were. Anyway.
Well, anybody got anything else?
By the way, Everclear is coming to L'Auberge, and it's January 18th.
Okay, I would consider that
on
for sure.
Sunday.
That's a Sunday.
Is that
Oh,
right
it does say Sunday.
Is that right before Martin Luther King Day, though?
Good question. Yeah,
'Cause
probably
if
might
it is,
be.
you probably have off of work the next day, get a hotel room.
Yeah, I think Martin Luther King Day was the 20th this year, so that's probably correct.
All of us sharing a hotel room sounds good.
On that hotel orgy bombshell, wagons out.
Wagons
Wagons
out.
out.